everybody to the outside world. If you're wondering why, you could probably barely hear me, and why it's so windy today is because I'm standing on the edge of a beach. I'm on the edge of a cliff, and there's a beach here. And I want to come out here today and bring you along so we can do some photography. Because it's something that I've really always have enjoyed doing, and it's something that's always been a part of my life. Well, up until this point. Yeah, so today we are at the beach, where I'm a bit unsure. We're somewhere down Highway 1, but the first place I went to, because this isn't the intended place that I went to go to take this a photo, or to bring you guys along too, but the place ended up being super cloudy, and so I decided to go to another beach, and on the drive there I came across this place, which it's a trail just kind of on the side of the road, and it's unmarked. You have to drive off a shoulder. It was an unmarked trail, and so I was just like, fuck it, so I walked in, and yeah, here we are. This place is really nice, other than the fucking 2,000-mile-an-hour wind, which makes me have to yell a little bit. Hopefully you can still hear me. But yeah, the beach here is really nice. I wish I could show you. Actually, you can kind of see a little bit of the sand over here. It's completely untouched. I haven't seen untouched sand in fucking forever. So it's a really nice area here. And so you see, I set up my camera back here. I pointed it this way towards the sun, because, well, I looked behind me and there's really nothing back there to shoot. There wasn't anything really that interesting back there. But over here, there's a little bit of a nice little thing here. Oh, look, there's a vulture there. That's kind of cute. But decided to shoot in this direction, and for the first video, photo vlog thing, I wanted to make it a little bit special. But unfortunately, I've recorded this video 4 times now. This is the 5th time I'm recording it. And the other 4 times have clearly failed because you don't see it. Maybe I'll post it in like another shoot or something. But yeah, so this is the 5th attempt, and it was honestly looking really bad. It was super cloudy that day. It was like hella moody. There was nothing. Literally, when I say nothing, I mean nothing. But you drive around and here we are. I guess we can go take a photo of this. I was planning on doing sorry, I'm kind of all over the place right now. The photo I'm planning on shooting today is what we call a long exposure, which means you hold the button down and it's very long time, and water looks smooth. Water, very smooth. Usually water rough, but if you look at water for a long time, very smooth. I'm a professional photographer, by the way. But yeah, it is a little bit windy, too windy for my taste. I didn't really plan on this happening, but at the same time, we just kind of work with what we got. The sun is right above the clouds. You can't really see it right now. I'll show you in a bit. But the sun is right above the clouds, and there's a giant mist of clouds. It's like a fucking wall of clouds just in the horizon. And the sun is like, if you're looking at it here, it's like half a thumb above those clouds. So we're kind of running out of time here. A little bit of a time crunch. So yeah, I really hope this one turns out well. Yeah, let's go to the camera and find out what we're looking at. So today is going to be a little bit interesting in the sense that I'm going to be shooting a long exposure. So I'm going to be using a thing called a ND filter, which is a neutral density filter. And that kind of just makes everything equally darker, so I can shoot things out further, which is actually in my bag, so I need to go down. This bad boy right here, this thing, this is the ND filter, which I will proceed to put on my lens. have the camera now, and it's set to a 2-second exposure at f/22 using the 6-stop ND filter because I don't actually have a longer one. That's the only one that I have. It's the only filter that I have. But what this is hopefully going to do is to make the water a bit more smooth. Because the wind is kind of fucking rolling really hard right now, which makes it really difficult for you to capture smooth water because it's really chunky. So hopefully we'll make that a little bit more smooth and we can capture some of the light that's hitting the cliff side as well. And I have this lens hood on. I don't think it'll do that much because I'm still kind of pointed almost directly at the sun. But hopefully this lens filter, or sorry, the lens hood will be able to take away some of the sun's glare that'll go into this. And I hope that'll work out. Also, you can't see that right now, but there's really smooth sand here, and the wind is blowing some of the sand off of the sand. Wow, fucking huge grain. And towards like me, you know. So it's kind of like there's like a wave of like a layer of sand that's above the sand, and I think it just looks really cool. It's almost as if you're in like a fantasy world, kind of like in like Shadow of the Colossus, if you guys have ever played that game, or if you watch me play that game. I never uploaded it. Oops. But yeah, so 2-second shutter speed, f/22 with a 6-stop ND filter, ISO 100, and yeah, hopefully this one ends up being well. I have the focus towards the middle, so hopefully we'll get sharpness from the front to the back. And we are totally burning daylight here, so I should probably click the button before we lose the light. I'll just click it again because I accidentally touched the leg of the tripod. The wind will make it very difficult to get a clear focus, so that's kind of why I'm only setting it to a 2-second exposure. And the sun is about to set behind the clouds really soon. So we are going to, I'm going to try to take a little bit more photos, maybe do like a 3-second exposure. But other than that, we should probably pack up before I die out here. Alright, so I'm gonna try another thing where I'm going to be doing a bracketed exposure, which is basically what most people would consider to be HDR, basically high dynamic range. So I'm going to be taking a picture of the clouds, trying to get that into focus, and then the shore, the cliff side, and then the water, which is like the dark areas and by the sand and like by the cliff shadows. Try to get all those together into one nice bright looking image. I really hope this one works out. I can never really tell until I go home and check it. If it doesn't work out, then unfortunate. But the sun is setting. We have got to go real quick. I think we did okay. I didn't expect this, or I don't really expect this photo to be any sort of like world-class fucking, you know, like awesome looking photo. I don't expect this to be a portfolio one at all. But yeah, I just wanted to bring you guys out today to show you guys the world. And you know, maybe I should continue this conversation in the car because it's windy as hell out here and I can barely hear myself talking. So if you hear me super loud, I'm sorry, I can't hear myself. It's so freaking windy here. Alright, so we're gonna end up packing up here now. We're gonna head back to the car and I'm gonna talk about a little bit about, well, I guess we'll continue this conversation in the car. And as for now, yeah, hope this photo turned out well. I'll show you guys the photo at the end of the video, probably, whenever that comes out, hopefully sooner than later. But yeah, I'll get into a little bit more of the details on what happened today. This one was a little bit hectic. It was a super random and just kind of running around sort of day, and yeah.
Love isn't complicated. People are with all the scar
Oh, we are back in the car. Sorry about that earlier with the wind. I don't know if you heard much of what I said. I think you could, but it was still a bit. It was a bit windy outside, a lot more than I would have liked by any means, and it was not the greatest audio quality. So if this comes out sounding really bad, I am so sorry. I never want anything to be bad or to sound bad or to look bad or anything, but sometimes you can't really help it. That's kind of nature. But yeah, here to recap what happened today. So I had tried making this video, this exact one, 4 times now. This is my 5th time trying to record this video. All the other 4 times, something happened. Either I made a huge mistake, or the weather was just not on my side. It all just happened at once, and everything was... It was just kind of always a mess. And even today, I had planned on going to this new trail, which was close to a place that I usually frequent, because the beach there is really nice. And it turns out the place there basically looked like what you imagine London to look like. It was just cloudy as hell. It was super gray, super dull. And initially I thought to myself, like, okay, I'm gonna record it here. I want to do like a challenge, because I've always been trying to look for the perfect light, and like the perfect scenes. But you know, maybe on a super cloudy day when everything is dull, we could still make something out of it. And I think that's just a part of art, right? You know, to challenge yourself. And that did not work at all. Funny thing is, I did the same thing last week at a different place where I forgot the battery for this camera. So that was attempt number 4 at recording this video, and I succeeded in that, fortunately. But I didn't get to record it. This time, it completely fell through. Everything fell flat, and it was horrible. But as I was driving down to another beach, down this highway, I came across this place, which, like, it's unmarked. There's nothing here. It's just a shoulder. There's just dirt here. Now you just kind of drive in, and I saw a sign here. It says right there. I can't show it to you because I don't want to move this camera and have to put it back. I'm lazy. It says park hours, 8 a.m. to sunset, and I have no idea what this park is, or what it's called, where it is. But luckily we found this place, and it seemed like it was unoccupied. It didn't seem like there was a lot of foot traffic heading through here. And so I decided to take the initiative and just kind of go in, and yeah, that's kind of where we were at. And, excuse me, I think it's really nice, and I got really lucky to find this place. This is actually a really new place. I've never been here before in my life, and I guess it ties a little bit into why I like photography. I'm not gonna get too much into it this time around, or maybe I should. I don't know. I don't want to bore you guys too much with it, but photography, specifically landscape photography, is something I really enjoy doing, in part because I can't draw or do music, and I've tried doing both. Music, not that long. I can't really say that I tried with any, you know, extremely meaningful effort in either drawing or painting or, you know, doing music. But I think photography was the one that kind of got to me the most. Because it was just it's relatively simple to get into. You know, you have your phone camera, you have whatever camera you know, can get, and you can basically do photography. It's pretty simple, in the grand scheme of it. And, yeah, I just really got into photography that way because of its ease of access. The only thing that's really expensive about it is, well, how much this stuff costs. And once you get past that, if you do get past, hell, you don't even have to. You just gotta use your phone, and you can just start taking photos. It's, it's quite simple. But I guess if I want to talk about why I enjoy landscape photography, which, is what I do. If you didn't know, I'm a landscape photographer on top of being an epic gamer. I think where the art of it, whereas the art of photography and landscape photography, I think specifically more so, and like nature photography in general, is capturing a moment instead of creating one. In part, the art, I think, also comes down to your own interpretation of it. The places you choose, how you frame an image, where you go, how you plan the sky around you, how you plan around the light that hits whatever subject that you'd like. And for me, I really enjoy like fantasy worlds. It's actually where I got the start for all of my photography. Sorry, I had to check and see if my thing was on, see if I was recording to like nobody. But it's where I got my start for photography. Where I actually got it specifically was because of a song. Actually, it was the album cover for this artist called Seven Lions. They make like electronic music. And it's kind of the music in it, and I think a lot of music that's popular nowadays, with like Illenium and stuff, is that like it makes you feel a sort of like vastness, right? Like you're in a sort of like a fantasy world. And it was actually the album art for it, which I'm gonna show on the screen. Well, maybe I'll show on the screen. I don't know if I'll actually get like copyrighted for that or anything. But it was that art that combined with that music that kind of presented itself as like a sort of like vast open fantasy world, right? Or maybe like it's like a mysterious sort of world that inspired me to want to start more than anything. I think a big thing is like starting it has always been like a thing that's never really been feasible for me, and listening to Seven Lions and Illenium and those other types of like electronic music, which I still listen to right now, actually. Well, not right now, but I listen to it whenever I do a photography trip because it gets me in the mood of wanting to go out and explore these vast lands like today, really, which I couldn't really capture today because I was kind of in a time crunch. But anyways, I'm getting off track again. That's where I started, where like photography and the idea of wanting to do it started for me. And landscape was always the big dream. It was always the big goal. It was my form of art, if anything, and going outside and not just capturing the moment, but being able to experience it for yourself as if you're in like Shadow of the Colossus or like The Legend of Zelda, like it's the fact that you're just going outside and looking at this, these landscapes and, just really feeling like you're not in your world anymore. That really, really makes me feel like all of this is worth it. Hell, even in part more than the photography itself. You'll never really see anything like that, in the city. Which has always really been a big part of it for me, because I've always been a city dweller. When I was a kid, I hated going outside. I hated nature. Every time I got a bug bite and it started itching, bro, I was done. I knocked the hell out. I cried like a bitch whenever I used to go to Boy Scout camps because it was just not fun. And it wasn't up until like late high school that I started growing an appreciation for it. But yeah, I'm sorry all this was totally all over the place. I don't really know what to say to these things, in the sense where you look at something and it's just so pretty, you just don't know what to say. And I didn't plan any of this, honestly. I never really know what to say half the time. Whether it's here or on stream at twitch.tv/MrMushy. You should come watch. But yeah, I hope any of what I had said today made any sort of sense. And I hope that you enjoyed it. This video, because it was really fun to record. I hope to record more. However many that I can record, we'll definitely see down the line. But I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope the audio quality is not too bad, and I really hope the picture turned out well. That's, you know, I hope something came out of it. I don't expect it to be anything noteworthy or anything like portfolio worthy or whatnot, but I do hope that it is still something that I can be proud of, and I hope that you enjoyed it too, and I hope that you enjoyed everything here that I had to offer you today. And yeah, so it's probably about 8:16 right now, so the sun's about to set in about 10 minutes. And yeah, I am probably gonna head back now before the sun heads out. I'm gonna head down to the city and eat some food with a friend, and yeah, enjoy the rest of my night. Yeah, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it, and yeah, I'll catch you all next time. Bye.